This is Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. Alan Minskoff, a contributor to AudioFile, is with me for the whole week. I'm Joe Reed, and we're here to talk about audiobooks. Hello, Alan.
Hi. And today we're going to travel again, only in a very, very different way. We're going with the television writer Gary Janetti, who reads his own We Are Experiencing a Slight Delay. And it needs to be said right off the top that he's an acquired taste. His voice takes a little getting used to, but it's only a 4.5 hour listen, and it is funny. He's sometimes laugh out loud, and he is full of himself and full of, I think, useful and interesting tips and suggestions.
He was the producer of Family Guy, so that should, give, I guess, people a hint. It gives me a hint about the tone of the book.
You're exactly right. I mean, he is a wit. He's the class wit, and he's also very observant and highly opinionated. It's truly a warm-hearted book. He goes on a trip with his entire family, his husband, his father, mother, other relatives, and they go on a luxury cruise. He seems to like cruises, but they put he and his husband under the foghorn. So of course that makes for a very funny little. There are a lot of funny vignettes. What I did truly appreciate is he's a guy who will give you his opinion. And it can be to a glitzy recommendation for Rome, like the Hotel de Russi, or eating at Balthazar in New York, or packing for only 3 days. He has this idiosyncratic way of travel. He packs for just 3 days, no matter how long he's going to stay. And then he goes and washes his clothes someplace. He feels like he gets a more authentic experience by doing that.
Wow.
Now, do not tell my wife this. I think she wants to pack for a few more than 3 days.
Oh my gosh. I mean, whenever I travel, I always say my great-grandmother brought less from the old country than I am bringing on this week's vacation.
Exactly right. I think all of our grandparents had less on those trips across the ocean than I take when I go to New York from Boise.
Yeah. Okay, so Gary, yeah, okay, good for you, Gary. Should we hear a little?
Yeah, let's just do just a second more of forewarning. It is a voice that takes a little getting used to.
Okay. This is We Are Experiencing a Slight Delay. It's written and read by Gary Janetti.
I'm not by nature a wellness person. It's not that I have anything against being well. What sane person would? It's more about the type of person that wellness attracts. The kind of person who holds eye contact so long you are inevitably forced to look away first. My eyes tend to dart around, stopping at the other person's eyes only occasionally to check in, not trying to sear into their soul over a conversation about how many glasses of water to drink a day. Besides, no wellness specialist I have ever come across has particularly seemed all that well to me to begin with. It's more like they are projecting the idea of wellness, while just underneath they are, like all of us, ready to snap.
Okay, I laughed out loud, but I feel like it was yelled at me by Gary Janetti.
He is a little bit intense.
Oh, man. I mean, he's funny, but what a voice. And I agree with him about the wellness zeitgeist, by the way.
I do too.
But he's fun.
He's fun. And he has this whole aside about traveling on airplanes and how you could ignore that person next to you who wants to talk to you, A, and B, the decline of fashionable traveling. Now, I remember when I was young, people did like put on a sport coat and travel, and people dressed up to go traveling. And that's, and now you go across the ocean and people are in their PJ.
On account of it's comfortable.
And I'm not criticizing that, but that is a change that he finds something to criticize.
So he actually sounds like he is fun, like he's somebody you really would love to meet for a drink.
Absolutely. And he's honest and he's candid. And there's some fun stuff that only someone like him would have. He talks about this long dinner with Maggie Smith, who he is pitching for a television pilot. And they go through this long meal, and first she complains that they're eating too early, and then she eats with vigor, and at the end she looks at him and just goes, no. That's very funny.
That is We're Experiencing a Slight Delay. It's written and read by Gary Janetti. Thank you so much, Alan. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And I look forward to it.
Behind the Mic is brought to you by the audiobook edition of Connie, read by Connie Chung, on sale this September 17th from Hachette Audio. I'm Joe Reed. I'll talk to you tomorrow.